April 1945. Berlin. The sky above the city was red, not from sunrise, from fire. Sirens, explosions, screams. Everything merged into one sound, the sound of an ending. His name was Müller. He was 17 years old, and he was still walking forward, simply because he didn't know where else to go. He had once wanted to become a teacher, or maybe an architect. He loved drawing floor plans in his school notebook. Now he held a rifle, and in his pocket, a letter from his mother he never got to finish reading. War doesn't ask who you wanted to be. It just takes you. The Berlin he knew no longer existed. Trams stood like abandoned skeletons. Shop windows gaped empty. The parks where he played as a child, now craters and rubble. The city was still breathing, but it was the breathing of a dying man. Officers were still shouting about duty, about resilience, about the last stand. But the words rang hollow. Too many buildings had already collapsed. Too many men had already disappeared. It was too late to pretend anything could still be saved. Müller said nothing, because fear of your own side was no smaller than fear of the enemy. A woman dragged a suitcase across broken glass. An old man sat on the steps of a burned house, staring at nothing. A girl of about 8 held a one-armed doll. Müller watched them and had nothing to say. He was a soldier, but there was nothing left here to protect. Only not to stand in the way of people dying quietly. A shot, then another. Then the whole block erupted. Müller ran without thinking where. His legs carried him, around a corner, into a doorway, onto the ground. In moments like these, the brain shuts off. Only one word remains: live. He remembered the school posters, the proud words, the ceremonial marches. Now those same flags hung in tatters on charred walls. Portraits lay face down in the mud. Nobody picked them up, not even those who still believed yesterday. Müller understood. Ideas die faster than people. At night, Berlin didn't go quiet. It groaned. Somewhere people screamed. Somewhere houses burned. Somewhere a basement still held hope. Müller sat in the darkness and listened to the earth shaking. He felt neither anger nor pride, only exhaustion and fear. A very quiet, almost ashamed fear. He took out the letter, read the first lines. "Take care of yourself. We are waiting for you home." He folded it back and closed his eyes. Morning came without hope. Light broke through the smoke and showed what remained of the city. Empty streets, charred walls, people who looked at each other as if they had already outlived their own lives. And Müller understood. History had not stopped. It had simply ended, for him. He walked down a street where there were no longer victors or banners, only ash, silence, and the last trace of a city disappearing before his eyes. Berlin was dying slowly, but for him, it was already over. Pause. Every life leaves an echo.